State University, named after Osmanov, Jalalabad College. Good day, dear students. Now I am going to demonstrate my lesson. Our subject is Innovative Methods in Teaching of English Language, group Atk-01-18. I am an English teacher, Malabekova, Сонунгул, Кайтарым. The objectives of the lesson. The aims of the lesson. Developing students' speaking skills, recommend the students different types of lesson planning, teach them to plan effectively. Expected results of the lesson. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to know the components of lesson planning, use the effective ways of lesson planning. Now, today's new theme is lesson planning. What am I teaching? Who am I teaching? How will I teach it? Do my students understand? In lesson planning, first of all, we should know how to plan the lesson and the setup plan. If we plan the lesson effectively, then we'll get the goal at the end of the lesson. A successful lesson plan addresses and integrates three key components: learning objectives, learning activities, assessment to check for understanding, students' understanding. What are the objectives of the lesson plan? The lesson objective, which is usually located at the beginning of the plan, focuses on the end of the lesson and states what skills you want your students to have learned or what knowledge you want them to have acquired when the lesson is finished. This is also lesson planning. Goals. We should first of all put goals. What do you want students to be able to do, know or understand by the end of the lesson? Then the actions. How are you going to break down the substance of the lesson to help students reach the goal? Demonstrate learning. How will you and your students know if they have achieved the goal? Environment. What do you physically need to do to facilitate the learning process? It's a circle. First of all, the objectives. Activities include practice with feedback and assessment. Planning before the class, during the class, after the class. For example, identify the learning objectives, plan the specific learning activities assessment, and the sequence of the lesson. Create a realistic timeline, plan for lesson closure. During the class, share the lesson plan with your students, helps keep them more engaged and on track. After the class, reflect on what worked well and why, and what you could have done differently. Identify the learning objectives. Before you plan your lesson, you'll first need to identify the learning objectives for the lesson. A learning objective describes what the learner will know. The second is plan the specific learning activities. When planning learning activities, you should consider the types of activities students will need to engage in order to develop the skills and the knowledge required to demonstrate effective learning in the course. Some questions to think about as you design the learning activities you will use are: what will I do to explain the topic? What will I do to illustrate the topic in a different way? How can I engage students in the topic? What are some relevant real-life examples, analogies, or situations that can help students understand the topic? What will students need to do to help them understand the topic better? Components. What is the required components? Now, to put at the beginning of the lesson the title. Begin the course, subject, grade, level, and your name. By all means, you have to use this. The second is date. It's also necessary. The most common mistakes are using an old old lesson plans and forgetting to change the date. Theme. For example, each lesson should have a learning goal that can be described as SMIRT, the smart technology we should use or when putting the objectives. For example, specific, measurable, achievable results, focused and time-bound. Lesson objectives must be tied to at least one state standard. Plan. Each lesson should have a beginning, middle, and end. Write in the segments of activities and events. Second is assessment. Each objective is with its aligned standard must be assessed for student comprehension and success. Add specific pages and problems for homework. Cross-curriculum. ELA standard and other subject standards should be included when touched upon. Differentiation. Include differentiation of instruction through content, process, and production. Also for students with disabilities. Add technology skills and the standards in the lessons if possible. Writing. Writing is a transferable skill that students need for the most disciplines and as career professionals. Career skills. All teachers should try to instill career-ready practices to prepare students later in life. That will be your homework. Your home task will be to make a lesson plan of your own, choose one topic, and write down a lesson plan according to my instruction, and make a presentation. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.